Here are 4 expert moves for organizing and developing ideas when writing essays. Each of these strategies describes an approach to writing a paragraph or a whole section. The first move is the for example move. This is perhaps the most common move. You make a claim and then illustrate the point with one or more examples, leading with transitions like, for example, for instance. A case in point is, in all cases, the for example move creates a pattern of expectation and fulfillment. Generally speaking, you start it off by saying, for example, and an entire paragraph can be that example. By the end of the paragraph, you should tell why that example is significant. Another move is the summary however move. This sums up in one paragraph or one section a source's viewpoint in order to qualify or contradict it or to introduce an opposing view, such as but, however, in contrast, on the other hand. Generally speaking, these transitions lead the next paragraph and not end this paragraph, but the move itself is to have a summary followed up by a however, in which you respond after the summary has happened. A third move is the division into parallel parts move. It begins with an umbrella sentence indicating the parts. Freud's theory differs from Jung's in 3 essential ways, so we know you're going to tell us each of those ways in the course of this section. The decline of the U.S. space program can be attributed to several factors, and then you will start listing those factors, either going first, second, third, and finally, first, another, still another, finally, one, in addition, furthermore, also. All of these things go into showing how all of the division of parallel parts move, and they are also expressed in parallel structures. First I learned that, second I learned that, finally I learned that. So each of the sentences that you use these transitions in are parallel in that they recall the language of all the ones that went before. Finally, there's the comparison-contrast move, in which you decide on the points of comparison or contrast, and then you choose the focus. If you, for example, are contrasting the political views of 2 presidential candidates, you might choose to focus on 4 points of comparison. Their differences in their foreign policy, the differences in economic policy, differences in social policy, and differences in judicial philosophy. And then you have 2 choices for organizing those parts. You can go side by side, in which you discuss all of candidate A's views, and then all of candidate B's views. Or there is the back and forth pattern, in which you discuss foreign policy, contrasting A's views with B's views, and then move on to economic policy, and then social policy, and so forth. There is no cut and dried rules that dictate when you would use which one. It's kind of dependent on which one is more effective. So you can mix and match within a longer essay. In a short essay, you might want to stick with just one of these strategies, but in a longer essay, you may use any or all of them that are appropriate. The choice is made according to which is most persuasive to the reader.